Before I get into explaining my experiences in the Game Maker Toolkit Game Jams, I will preface that there are two sections. First is my experience competing in the 2023 one, and the second is later in the 2025 Game Maker Toolkit Game Jam. In the summer of 2023, I participated in the Game Maker's Toolkit Game Jam. The basic premise was that participants were given 48 hours to develop a whole video game based on a prompt that'd be randomly assigned at the beginning. So the prompt that year was roles reversed, and so I came up with an idea about the player playing as a giant slime that'd be attacking the knights and castles that inhabited an island. And this would be the flipped perspective where in fantasy you'd expect the hero to be attacking some sort of monster or slime, right? And this was what I spent the first few hours doing, which wasn't too much trouble. But the main thing that caught me off guard was the animations and the art, because at this point I was mostly focusing on programming, as I had a misconception at that point in time where programming was the most important part of game development. So when I was doing the art and the animations, it took a really long time, and as time went on and I realized the deadline was coming quicker than anticipated, I had to cut a bunch of content. Like, I had a few more enemies that I wanted to implement, that I cut them. I couldn't have any music, I had to be cut, and I wasn't able to add in any sort of progression, so the gameplay ended up being mostly the same throughout. This resulted in my placement in the game jam to be about in the lower 50%, and I ultimately realized I would probably need a team to help assist in the other design disciplines because I wasn't as strong in those. Right. Now, fast forward 2 years later to the 2025 Game Maker's Toolkit Game Jam. This time we were giving 96 hours instead of 48, which was a great boost. Though this came with the upside of having extra time to further improve our game, but it also gave our competitors more time to prepare their games. But this time I was a little bit more prepared, as I found a partner to help me do the art, but also bounce ideas between. So this time's theme was loop. So my partner came up with an idea that we'd probably want circuits in our game. And at some point we were messing around and we talked about, hey, maybe let's have pets, because pets are cute, right? And my sister heard this and she said that eventually it was like, oh wait, that'd be really fun. What if you put like dogs and electronics or something? And well, I thought that was a pretty good idea. I told my partner, and eventually we came up with an idea for a game where the player plays with a dog who's jumping around and forming a wire that connects a whole circuit. And so that was just the first few hours. We were off to a pretty good start. And over the course of the next 4 days, we would have frequent meetings to develop together and make sure that we're both on the same track. And I did all the programming, and my partner did all of the artwork. And for the music, because we could afford to have music this time, unlike my last game jam, we were able to find someone to do music for us. And the end result was that our game made it to the top 10% of all submissions, where we had the highest marks in creativity and music. Overall, I think these game jams taught me that it's important for the programmer to at least have some idea of design, and the team shouldn't just be a programmer or a bunch of programmers, as the art, music, UI, UX, and game design are all very, very important pieces to making a game.